For our group project, we've decided to talk about music in Japan and South Korea, with a big focus on pop music. When it comes to pop idols in both countries, each has their own strengths and weaknesses given how each of the industries are in that country. With South Korea, they usually go through rigorous training to perfect dancing and singing performances. Meanwhile, in Japan, they tend to sort of focus more on the interactive performance side of things, while dancing and singing could be average or at least pretty good. And things like interviews and all that stuff. For Japan, they usually tend to stick to their own style, like more of a Japanese sound type of music. And their music videos usually focus more on the idols themselves. And idol groups can rotate through a big amount of members over the years, such as AKB48 here, which have had many members since their formation back in the early 2000s. And on social media, they usually tend to keep more to themselves or not post a whole lot. Japan's music industry was very big, and is very big, I should say. In 2022, their music industry brought in a total of $2 billion US dollars, which would be the second highest number in the world. One of the things that makes them different is they still use CDs and physical media at an age where everything's mostly starting to go digital. Another thing is they respect their artists when it comes to releasing any sorts of content like pictures, music, and whatnot. And their industries or companies like to get their consent before releasing any of that stuff. Compared to the Korean music industry, which is known to be a little more brutal and harsh, they have certain images they like to uphold within their companies or record labels. And overall, Japan does have a wide range of music. And it's sort of interesting how it's not quite as popular as Korean pop, even though they've been shown to like make lots of money. But there is something that has been in recent years, and that's Hololive here. They're a virtual idol group of girls that have taken off in both Japan and the West, or East Asia in general, probably, mostly. They are a company called Cover, which was founded by Motoaki Tanigo back in 2016. And their idols do things more traditional, like music, performances, while also leaning into live streaming, like on YouTube or Twitch. And there are many members with millions of subscribers and fans all over the world, and are some of the most watched female streamers in the world. And it's interesting how they hit a lot of target demographics. Like there's people who like music, just the video games, anime, and they've had big concerts in both Japan and the US. South Korea. K-pop, while being Korean type music as well, they've also taken inspiration from Western music like rap and hip hop, and even Latin music. And some of their music videos tend to have storylines or even lore, which are probably videos talking all about that. And they get streaming deals with services like Spotify, which is different compared to Japan with their mostly physical releases. And if a member leaves, They tend to just move on and not really replace that member, like with Stray Kids here. They started off as 9 members, and now they are still going on to this day as 8 since the one left. And in comparison to Japan, they are very active on social medias like Instagram, where they post many pictures, do live streams, and all that fun stuff, promotions, whatnot. K-pop is a music genre that's become solely popular in the West over time, especially the K-pop group BTS, which has made incredible sales, records, and groundbreaking awards with their music. Like here, they've shown at first they were just out in the streets promoting themselves, giving out CDs or tickets to their concerts, and now recently here in LA, huge sold out arenas, which is an amazing accomplishment for a foreign group within the States. And it takes a ton of work since, yeah, like it says here, 10 years until they've really made it big. With rigorous hours of training, and even members that have left home to go and pursue this type of work. And some even compete on survival type shows like your American Idol or The Voice. Like with the group Twice here, they competed on a survival show called 16, and now years later, they're one of the biggest girl groups in Korea as well. An interesting fact about BTS was the government actually changed the law about their military enlistment. Since in Korea, it's a requirement to serve at least 2 years in military. While currently, most of their members, if not all of them by now, are on break due to serving, like we see down here with the members. And with this comes a lot to follow up for future groups with the amazing legacies all these groups have left. Similar to Hololive, South Korea has also tried to start doing something similar with this group, Ishagi Idol, with MVs with over 9 million views, and each member with hundreds and thousands of subscribers. With all the differences, there are also some similarities, like how with their fan service and very dedicated fan bases. In both countries, music industries are very well respected. And something else common is with their cultures, having festivals with traditional musics, dresses, parades, and all that stuff. Both countries are great at displaying their culture and artistic sides in their music. Another thing they have in common is instruments, similar ones in Korea and Japan, but they look a little different, like the flutes here. Here you have a traditional Korean flute player and a traditional Japanese one. And another common trait is their performances and storytelling with those performances. With their singers, they have amazing choreography while singing live in front of crowds, with also some influence to Chinese music traditions with the performances and melodies in the songs. Here we have Japan, Korea, and China.